Recorded at the Rec W in Chillicothe, Ohio. This is the Ohio Vibe Entertainment Podcast. Each episode will feature an Ohio-based band, musician, comedian, actor, or other entertainer. If you would like to appear on the podcast, email us at submissions@theohiovibe.com. Submissions@theohiovibe.com. Let's just wing it.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right. It's been a while since we've done one of these. Been fighting colds and still battling my stuff. So, anyways, today I think we might try talking about AI music and its effects on the entertainment music. So, do you have any thoughts on AI, Brian?
It can be useful in some cases.
Do you think maybe could hurt the industry, like making musicians like me a little more lazier than what I used to be? Or what I usually am?
I don't know. I mean, you kind of have to have some type of knowledge of music to use AI, I think. I mean, I don't really know much about it. I know a little bit about using it to like automate things. I think that's pretty helpful. Like some programs offer where they use AI to do mixing or mastering of tracks.
Okay.
And then I mean, stuff like that, I mean, I think is a good like starting point, and then you can make your own.
Yeah, you can tweak it.
You can tweak it to how you really want it. And then the use of AI in like the stem splitters, where you can separate the elements of an already mixed track, I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, those work. I've used a couple of those. I've also used the full-blown, using it to make a whole song.
Yeah.
Just by prompts, typing in what you're looking for and what you want.
You've used the ones where it makes up the vocals and
it
the
does
lyrics
it all,
and all that too. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. But I can sit in there and listen to it, and I can hear where it's getting its influences from.
Yeah, or you can tell, that it's
not
by the lyrics that it doesn't really know what it's talking about.
Right.
It's just kind of nonsense.
Right. But I mean, it does do a pretty good job of putting the whole music, lyrics, singing, the whole thing together. But some of them that I've used, you don't pay for it. It only gives you like 30, 40 second, up to 1 minute clips, and then you got to patch it all together. And then next thing you know, it's all way off, because not each piece has the same. It's not like it's a complete song. You're patching different pieces together.
Oh, okay.
Even though it's the same exact.
It's like the same prompt.
It's the same prompt. It just gives you different. And then you end up with like a woman singing at the end, like that one I sent you. It goes from one thing, and then it ends up being a woman's voice towards the end. And it's like, okay. But I mean, I could see where it could be useful in a pinch if you need an idea for something.
Yeah.
You just throw it in there and say, hey, here's what I want to try to do. And it gives you the idea, and then you build it based on that.
Yeah.
But you can tell where the influences come from really bad. Because, I mean, they've already come out and said that they scour the internet and use other people's content to use that. And you can tell on some of them that real bad that it's got the same everything, and that's where the copyright problems come in.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think it's useful. But what worries me is now some of them have where you can take your song and then put it into that system and let it build off of that. So then your music gets stuck in that algorithm, and then it's pulling from your system for
Mm.
other people's music,
Yeah.
which would be if you were copyrighted, that would be a copyright infringement on your song.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's two sides to it. I think there's a balance if you use it the right way, but I'm not really that big of an expert into it. I've just been recently starting to mess with it.
Yeah.
Excuse me, and read
Mm-hmm.
more about it and watching some YouTube videos with a lawyer that has worked on this, been watching this closely and telling
Oh,
people
cool.
how to do it.
Yeah. Now I've used like in Logic Pro, they have what they call Logic Drummer, and that's sort of an AI thing. And then they just recently added Logic Bass Player,
Yeah,
which Andy's a bass player, and I.
yeah, yeah, and I got to hear some of that.
But yeah, I mean, if you're not like I'm not a drummer, so me trying to like program drum parts is going to take me forever, and I'm not going to, have the same outlook as a drummer would. So I think that's pretty helpful that you can just it just plays along to your track. You can have it follow your guitar or the bass or the vocals or whatever you want.
Yeah, that's I mean, it's got its benefits, and but there has to be some regulations on AI in general.
Yeah, I think there
Because
should be a way that you have to disclose that you're using it.
yeah, some of those companies do tell you that you have to give them credit for what you put out,
Uh-huh.
and then some of them, like that one that I use with the orchestra stuff and does like cinematic music and stuff like that. And so, I mean, it sounds really good. It's the most realistic one I've heard, but there's no vocals or anything. But that one, if you subscribe to it and get the full subscription, you actually own the copyrights to it. Anything you make on there
Hmm.
until forever, even if you cancel it. If you do like a free version, you can only use it to like share with friends. And then if you get the next step up, I think you can use it on videos and stuff, but you have to give them credit saying that that's where the music came from because they still hold the copyright to it. But it it's interesting. I mean, I've seen people been using it in the music or the movie industry
Mm-hmm.
to make short films using AI.
Yeah.
But then you've got that boundary that crosses over into where people are making fake videos, deep fake videos of
Yeah.
people saying things that they're not really doing or saying.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of crazy. That's why I think there should be a regulation on it somehow, because who's to say one day it doesn't wake up and say, oh, hey, I don't like these people on Earth anymore. And then we've got the Terminator happening, which, they've already had a robot, an AI robot that said it wanted to destroy all humans.
Great.
And there was something about that Google quantum machine that they started, that quantum computer, that big
Mhm.
one. They put in algorithms into it. And it pretty much said it was lonely and wanted to, it didn't like us. And then there was another Japanese humanoid robot that wanted to start a family. And I mean, that just kind of blows my mind because
Mm-hmm.
of the technology and stuff. But on the other side, it's kind of scary when you think about it. Because, I mean, it could just take control of everything, shut us all off.
Yeah.
And technology can be a good thing, but then in the same time, it can be horrible. It could be bad.
I mean, the only
So-
the only thing we could do is just unplug it.
Well, yeah, maybe. if it hasn't set up parameters to stop that, like a 20,000 volt jolt to your system when you grab the cord or something. Or maybe I've just watched too much sci-fi in my life. I'm to the point where, reality and sci-fi is merging together here. But
well, yeah, I mean, really, we are.
yeah. Yeah. But I mean, it is useful. You're into art. They use AI in the art around the art
Yeah,
stuff too.
I use it sometimes when I have pictures that aren't quite big enough. I can use Photoshop to like expand the picture.
Mhm.
Like if there's a picture of a house and I need more yard or more, trees behind it or something, I can just have it generate, based on what's already in the picture, it can generate more of the background to give me a bigger picture.
Okay. Well, that's cool. I mean, I know I've used it a couple of times to make like album covers for things or just messing around with it.
Yeah.
Make album covers. Some of it looks real, but it was
Mhm.
earlier stages of it that I've used, like maybe 3-4 years ago
Mm-hmm.
when it first started coming out. But I know it's advanced a lot since then.
Yeah. What's one of the things that's getting really good is like removing things from pictures.
Yeah.
Like if you
Like
have
background removers and things like that.
I use it a lot when there's like a vehicle parked in a driveway. I can just select the vehicle and it just takes it out.
And then fills everything
Yeah,
in
it
with
fills
what's
everything.
around it.
Yeah. I have to be careful that it doesn't like add something that isn't actually there, and misrepresents what's there at the house. But if
Like
it's
like it removes the car and puts a fountain in there or something.
yeah, takes the car out and puts it takes the Honda out and puts in a Ferrari or something.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, the music industry and the entertainment industry in general, I think, can benefit from artificial intelligence. It just there's just a fine line on what you can do, and you just got to make sure that it's not doing harm.
Mm-hmm.
And because you want to do good things with it, not bad things. And there's always going to be somebody out there who wants to do bad things with it, which, like I said, it's already happened with the deep fake stuff.
Now, something I've thought about, I don't really have an opinion on it, but like using AI to like recreate someone's voice, like someone who's passed or whatever. Like, John Lennon has a new song out.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there was a new Beatles thing out recently, but
they used AI in that.
They used AI to separate the vocals from the piano in his demo.
Okay.
But they didn't like recreate his voice. But I mean, what I'm thinking about is like coming up with a whole new song that he didn't have anything to do with, but using his voice to sing it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they've already got the AI voice generators that are out there, and I've messed around with a couple of those.
Yeah, I messed around with the Jason Statham one.
Yeah, I messed around with an Elvis one, and it didn't sound anything like Elvis. But that could change tomorrow as fast as this stuff is advancing. It could change tomorrow. I could go home tonight and it could be changed from a week ago, because it advances so much. But I think that there's a lot of cool stuff that could be done with it. I mean, like people that, like musicians, a lot of times it's hard to put a band together. If you're a guitar player or singer, sometimes it's hard to put a full band together because look how long it took us to find a bass player and a drummer. So I decided to start playing bass.
Mm-hmm.
And then it took us forever to find a drummer.
Yeah.
We found a drummer. And then, whenever that falls apart and you decide to go try something, if that falls apart, then you start a whole nother band. You got the whole process over again.
Yeah.
And drummers seem to be the ones that are the hardest to find.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is, but
nowadays drummers are like in multiple bands.
Yeah, because there's not enough of them to go around, I guess, or not enough of them real willing to go play.
Yeah, back in our day, it was more like, I'm in this band and that's it. I'm not joining any other thing.
Yeah,
because this is my band or whatever.
Yeah,
but nowadays, I think people are a little more
lenient on how many bands are in.
Yeah.
But I mean, that would come in good because you could use something like Band in a Box to do your backing stuff, or you could use one of them AI generators to create your backing stuff to practice your vocals and do your stuff. But then you have to go into that whole watching the copyrights when you go to publish it, because it could be your vocals and your lyrics, and it could be pulling from somebody else's music and sound too similar, and it just takes more than 30 seconds of something similar to spark a copyright infringement.
Yeah. I've heard of people having copyright strikes on their own stuff. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of crazy, but all it takes is more than a 30-second bite. Like if you have 30 seconds of a song and it goes to 35 seconds and it sounds similar to something else, even though it's not exact, if it's similar, and I don't know if they may even use AI to do copyright strikes. I don't know how that works nowadays. Yeah, maybe.
Because it seems like you can get copyright strikes for a lot of things, even if it's sounds nothing like it to you.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if maybe they need to tweak the settings on the AI for the copyright tweak, copyright strikes or not. But, and I mean, and YouTube is kind of really bad about that, I think. And well, Facebook is too. Like I posted a song that I did using Band in a Box, and I kept getting copyright strikes, but it was talking about the stock photos I was using in it.
Oh, where you did the video with it? Yeah.
Yeah. And I haven't posted the music yet. I may do that when I get home or sometime this week and just see if it gets a strike for the music. Because the music does not sound like anything I've ever heard before. I mean, there may be something in there that picks it up, but every time I would go to that, when I'd go to the thing, it would be an image. It was an image. And so it got me like twice on that. So I removed it, just took the whole video down and said, forget it. And that, and then that kind of discourages people from wanting to put their own stuff out there.
Yeah.
Thinking they're going to get copyright strikes every time they try to put their own music out. But, or maybe you just play it safe and just buy a license that covers anything. And then that way, if it is something in there, then the person that it belongs may or may not belong to gets paid too. I don't know. But, yeah, like I said, kind of just wanted to do something on AI. I've got a couple guys that do AI and that I know that put music out. We'll try to get them in here for an episode. See if they can tell us a little bit more about the AI music, and they use it for the art, for the videos that they put out too.
Oh, okay.
And so we'll see if I can get them scheduled for a podcast, and we'll get them in here and see if we can get something going with them. They can give us a little more insight on it, actually, since they've been actually using it.
Yeah.
For putting their stuff out.
Uh-huh.
As opposed to me just messing around with it just to see how it works because I was
Yeah.
curious.
Have you ever wanted to be a record producer in a studio? Or how about being involved in live event production for concerts, theaters, or houses of worship? Maybe even creating sounds for movies seen on Netflix, Hulu, and Disney? Ever wanted to make content for TV, broadcast, podcasting, or streaming? There is a school for you in Chillicothe, Ohio. It's called the Rec W. We offer short-term classes studying the art and business of music while working hands-on in our world-class recording studios. Book your free tour now by calling 740-835-4455 extension 2 or find us on Facebook and Instagram or at therecw.com. See you soon and mix on. That's The Rec W, 740-835-4455.
The Rec W. Life-changing education.
Have you ever used it to like write anything, like a description or anything like that? Or
For like,
because I've used it for like social media posts for like a business. I'll type out, write me a short social media post, like one paragraph on this subject.
No, I haven't. I haven't messed with that. I mean, I've used it to write song lyrics, but without music and stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
I tried to use it to write a joke one time, and it
flop?
it said something like, it cannot process this sort of information or something like that. So
Now my daughter uses it to write letters. Like she wanted to send an email to a teacher at school.
yeah,
Over something that happened. I don't know what it was. And she didn't know how to word it and didn't want to come off as, because it was over something that my grandson had done. And she wanted to write a letter to her telling her what she thought about it without using her own, because it probably would have been a disaster if she would have done that. She was a little mad about it.
Yeah.
But she used it, and then she was reading. I heard her reading the different things that it gave her to give to her mom, and I was like, wow. I was like, is she using AI for that or something? Because I said, she's coming up with these awful quick. She's like, yeah, that's what she's using. I was like, oh, okay, that works, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's a way to
speed things up.
And like keep things more professional when you want to.
Yeah, I could have used that years ago. Then people wouldn't have to get that special decoder.
No, that was your handwriting.
Yeah. Well,
your typing is okay, I think. Well, sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes I jumble. Especially when autocorrect is on. And I don't proofread before I send it.
Sometimes people use that voice to text and it screws it all up.
Yeah, it picks up stuff in the background.
They're like in the drive-thru and they say, hey, how you doing? And then it says, can I take your order, please? And then
they
continue with their message.
Right. But yeah, we just kind of wanted to get on here and do a podcast to get something out, and I figured AI might be a pretty decent subject to talk about. I don't know if there's anything else. I know there's some shows coming up. Basement Collective. It's got a show coming up at Steiner's on the 29th this month. Yeah, right here. I just shared it. That's not the right one. Or maybe they was already there. Maybe I'm just getting confused with what I got going on. I see so many of these posts when I'm picking stuff up to put on the Ohio Vibe Ohio's entertainment group page, that sometimes I just get some of these things mixed up.
Mm-hmm. I see a lot of Basement Collective live at the Page.
Yeah, I was seeing that one too. They had one
April 16th.
Yeah, the 16th. Here it is. Oh, it was Ben. It's Ben True this Saturday
Oh, okay.
at 7 p.m. at Steiner's.
Oh, that's right. He said he's going to be playing.
Yeah, he's
some
doing his
Basement
own
Collective songs. So,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's a solo of Ben True. So you guys get a chance to check him out. Definitely worth the time. And that's at 7 p.m. at Steiner's in Chillicothe. He is a really, truly talented musician. He's part of the Basement Collective group or band here in town. And those guys are phenomenal. I know we've seen them a couple times live, and they're great. They do a variety of stuff. They do their own stuff and covers. And they're well worth watching, going and seeing. And they'll be at the Page on April 16th in Chillicothe. So go check them out. But, I mean, there's always something going on in this town. Every weekend there's a band out somewhere.
Yeah.
So get out there and support your local bands and your local venues. You have so many people, good and stout. Basement Collective. My mind just went
Too
blank.
many to remember.
Yeah, too many to remember. Yeah, my mind just went blank on that one. I don't know why. My mind happens to do that all the time. I mean, you've got open mics in the areas around us, like Jackson, for comedy.
Yeah, I have one coming up April 10th at the Stockroom 601 in Jackson, 7:30.
Okay.
With host Mackenzie Redinger, with Sister Lou. She's really funny. Unlike me.
There's at the see here, April 19th, Sugarloaf Shakedown will be live at the Waverly
Oh,
Moose.
yeah, they're another good one.
Yeah, they're another good band. We actually had them on our podcast, so you guys can go check it
That
out.
was the first one, wasn't it? No, it was the second one.
Yeah, second one. You guys can check them out. And that one starts at 8 p.m. April 19th in Waverly at the Moose. And then Zach Taylor will be
Speaking of AI.
at Steiner's tomorrow. I don't have a time. Maybe 7. I just seen a post on here that said this week, and it has Zach Tyler on Friday and Ben True on Saturday. So go check Zach out. I'd say 7 p.m. or you could call them and find out what time they're going to be there. The venue, unless you know Zach personally, but I mean, there's so much talent in this area and the surrounding areas that there's always something going on somewhere. There's always a live band or a live person playing music, you know.
Hopefully.
Well, I mean, as opposed to a DJ.
Oh.
Yeah. You have singer-songwriters and all kinds of stuff going on at all the places around here. And just go support them and support, because that's, not everybody that's on the radio and is famous started somewhere like this at one point.
Yeah.
And without the support of the people going and seeing them, they wouldn't be where they were. So get out there and support them. And then you can say, hey, I remember seeing that. I remember seeing Ben True when he was at Steiner's on that Saturday night.
Yeah.
And now look where he's at. So, go support them. Support the venues so they can stay there and continue to bring you the live entertainment that we all need and deserve to get out and unwind on Friday and Saturday. I mean, some of them even do them through the week. Not sure how many of them, but I'm sure there's something going on every night someplace.
Well,
But-
I can plug the open mic. It's every Friday at the Bar and Grill in Jackson, Ohio, 8 o'clock. It's a mixed open mic, so they have musicians, and I've been going there and doing comedy. And I think I have a couple other comedians coming. At this point, it's tomorrow, but in the future we'll be there too. So it's pretty cool. Oh, and I do. There's an open mic comedy at the Wobbly Ghost in Chillicothe that I do every
Tuesdays.
week, Tuesday at 8:30.
Yeah, I got to make it to one of those. That's
Yeah.
a pretty good little.
Yeah, that
Spot.
time you were there, I think it was pretty. There's a pretty good crowd.
Yeah, it had a good crowd and
Yeah. All
everybody
the
was
comics
funny,
are,
but Brian.
Yeah.
but, yeah.
that's the way it usually is.
Yeah.
People just laugh at me because I
try-
look funny.
He tries.
I try.
That's all that matters. But he's always been fun, a little funny
I'm so-
as long as I've known him.
Don't make that hand motion again.
Oh. But yeah, so
Yeah, I'm working on a set with some ghost material. It
Oh,
just
boy.
keeps growing and growing. The material.
Ghost material.
I don't want to give
Is that
anything
the-
away. So
Is that the one where it goes knock knock? Say who's there, and it says Booger.
Booger who?
Booger in your hanky? They used to call ghost burgers back in the olden days. So anytime somebody would blow their nose,
Booger.
booger.
Okay.
And you'd say, just edit that.
No, I'm gonna leave it in.
I don't know where I was going.
Now you know how I feel.
Yeah. We'll
give
get over here and
give it
try.
a shot and get nothing.
Yeah. Get on here and try. I think I could probably, if I decided to do stand up, if I could stand up long enough to do stand up, I'd probably, could do a whole bit on the whole medical industry. And
What a joke it
Age.
is.
Huh?
What a joke it is.
yeah, but I'm talking about like the medicines that they put you on, like, I was talking about when I go to Walmart to pick up my stuff, you hear the
Yeah.
beep beep of the beep beep beep. Go back up to the cargo doors there at the back of the building to get all my prescriptions filled because it's a big pallet full of it for a month. But yeah, I know we start out as. I was thinking about this one the other day. You start life in a diaper.
Mm-hmm.
You progress when you start to walk to a walker. And then you hold on to things as you're running to walk. And you go through life. You have somebody take care of you through that part of life. And then when you get older, you just go in reverse. You start with the walker,
Mm-hmm.
holding on to things to get around. And then you're back into diapers.
back in
And somebody
laying
else
down in
taking
bed.
care of you. Yeah. I mean, that's the circle of life right there.
Yeah.
In a nutshell. I was just thinking about that when I was having my chemo treatment the other day.
Mm.
As I was staring at the walker that I was using to get around up there at the hospital in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was my thought process that day.
Except your walkers now doesn't have like rattles, and
Yeah.
toys on it.
Well, I put toys on mine. I got a little honky horn. Bicycle
One of
horn.
those Ooga.
Yeah, an Ooga horn. So people get out of my way when I'm flying down the hill.
You got a little
Trying
spotlight
to
on it.
stop it.
Put you a little siren and
Yeah.
like a blue light on it.
Yeah. Red and blue lights.
All right. We're just going to scrap this and have AI do it.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, because we're going nowhere. This,
Yes, our next podcast will have AI hosts.
we're going to do like we do our band. We're just going to hire people to come in and do this. And we'll just put our name on it. Hire, instead of studio musicians, we'll have podcast hosts, studio hosts.
I like
So maybe.
Millie,
If you guys-
Millie Vanilli of podcasts.
Yeah. If you guys do have any comments on what you think we ought to do next on the podcast or any comments on AI, you can go to the Ohio Vibe page on Facebook and put a comment on there, or on Spotify. I think you can leave comments on our Spotify on our landing page for the podcast. If you guys got any ideas, or any of you want to be on a future episode, you can more than welcome to leave a message on there, or you can send comments to info. Oh my God.
All right. We need to close this out.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was enough of our rambling.
All right. If you have any comments.
Yeah. You can put them on the page, the Ohio Vibe. You can send a message on there, or you can send it to info@theohiovibe.com. Or you can send, like I said, you can send a message from the page. Or you can get all that information to send comments on theohiovibe.com. That's a lot of talking for that. Just for a comment. Suggestions or comments, it don't matter. Rather have suggestions, but as long as they're not bad.
Yeah. Quit.
Yeah, quit.
We get that one a lot.
Yeah.
Stop.
Maybe-
Mostly one word comments.
Maybe I can get an AI program to filter the bad ones.
No.
Oh man, the shenanigans.
All right. I'm gonna
Yeah,
stop,
Stop it.
or we'll just keep going. Bye.
Bye. Later.